My name's Jack Ryan. I'm 21 years old. I graduated from Stafford Uni doing computer games design last year, and this is my fourth Games Jam. For me, it's a really good way of motivating myself to actually complete a project or actually give myself a time frame to do it in. Because when you do something in your spare time, it's just like, I'll get it done. I'll do that next week, and then next week comes and you don't do it. Games Jam, not only have you got people relying on you to finish it, but it's like you got such a small amount of time, you just have to do it. So, it's just a really good way of actually getting something finished, because for me, in my life, actually finishing a project has always been my problem. I get halfway through making a really cool map for Counter-Strike back when I did Source Engine stuff, and I'd never finish it, and I'd look back and be like, why didn't I finish that? And I'm really bad at picking up old projects. I have to start again if I was going to go and do something else. So yeah, I think it's really good for sort of making myself realise what it's like to actually finish a project. So.
How's this year's jam going?
This year's jam is, I'm actually really excited about what the final outcome's going to look like, because for once I think we've got a really good blend of a manageable scope, but also something that's actually going to be really fun. Not just because sometimes it's hard to be let's have a small scope and not make the game really boring as a result. Because I feel like we've got a really good blend of that. So I'm really excited to see how it's going. Obviously it's early stages yet, but I'm having fun working on it already, and this is just doing the things that you always have to do for the start of any project. Getting a character to move, you always have to do that. But at the minute, I'm seeing it in my head so clearly, it's already really fun. So my first ever jam, I think. Try to remember now. I think I just threw myself into a random team. So that's back when they did the icebreakers and they did in the lecture hall, and just went into a random team and just kind of got cracking. And it seems so different now, because that was in the first year of uni. You don't know as many people as you do by the time you graduated. So now in the group I'm with is mostly people from the junior senior module when I was here, apart from a couple of people. So you do feel like an army veteran with his badges on when you walk through the door, and you know the people, you know what's going to happen, and you see all these people that are clearly brand new to the idea, and you just think, well, I used to be there. But there's nothing for people that make games, there's nothing like Games Jam. And the best part about it is when you come back to somewhere that you're so familiar with, like I am here at the uni. So it's really cool. So basically, when you start the game, it's pretty much finished already in terms of story. And what it is that the heroes of, the archetypal heroes of a medieval era, like your knight, your sort of archer, your thief, your wizard, they've all finished the games that they were their heroes in, and they've all gone to the same pub to hang up their hats, their wizard hats, their staffs, their swords, their shields. They've hung it all up, and they're just relaxing. They're done, and that's it. Their quest is finished, no more game for them. But the weapons feel a little bit dejected by this, and so they all gather around a table themselves. They start having a bit of a ego competition going on. They start telling stories of how awesome their adventure was, and the weapons start getting a little bit competitive towards each other. So they start telling the stories, and what the player has to do is play as each of those weapons that basically represents the characters that they were the weapons for in their story. So, like I say, without giving too much away, you might be the knight's sword and shield, and you go through his story, but then you might find out that the sword and shield was actually really exaggerating what the story was all about, and it was nowhere near as cool as that. And then you go on to the next story.
Do you have any future jam plans?
To come again? That's pretty much my only plan. I think the best thing about jams is to not have much of a plan. I'm quite spontaneous in general life anyway. I think the best plans are always the ones that aren't made 5 minutes before you actually do them. But that's the beauty of Games Jams, turning up and just doing something. That's why I think if you don't know the theme until you have to start planning it, it's much better than knowing it 2 weeks in advance, because people will make plans, and that takes the fun, the meaning out of a Games Jam. So